I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and we are having coffee. Uh, I looked up from my working my energy, getting, inviting the guides in, and looked up, and it was a minute after. It seemed like I started at 3 minutes before. Time is an interesting thing right now. And today is shaping up to be kind of heavy, kind of not easy, lighthearted, empowered. In fact, someone messaged me with something that really threw me into a state of semi despair, hopelessness, and fear. And for someone like me, that happens to be a state of helplessness. I'm a warrior. Personal power is what I've really been given to bring into the world, our understanding of that. And so these times when, I mean, literally, I just thrown into that 20 minutes ago after I've been up since 4. So that's 4 hours. Did some work, did some study, and this full moon that's coming really is a messenger of some pretty heavy stuff in us. And so, how do we navigate that? Well, by choice, honestly. How do you choose to move forward? It's really important that we learn to exercise our power of choice because of things like this. Moments, when the cosmic energy coming in, whether it's the solar flares, the solar winds, which have been numerous, and people are feeling tired, they're not sleeping, there's increased pain, there's increased anxiety. And this is not, the last 6 months. I mean, it has been, but this is the last several days where things are building. And it's really imperative that we learn how to navigate. And sometimes, the question in the title was, how do we do this? Do we bury our head in the sand? Do we hit it head on? Retreat is not a bad choice at times. We need to manage our energy, and sometimes that's watching a silly television show. There's one on, I don't know whether it's Prime or whether it's Acorn or whatever. I think it's Acorn, The Larkins, which is just a cute little television show about a lovely family in England somewhere. It is something I utilize to help me withdraw from, help me shift my focus. Because as an observer, if I am observing from this place of helplessness, hopelessness, despair, angst, that's what I'm going to look for in all of it. I'm going to seek out those things. And this doesn't mean spiritual bypass, because we always want to be in a place of what is here for me, but all I'm going to see is negative, gloom, doom, awfulness, no hope for the future. If I enter into that space of what is here for me, in that energy of, oh my God, I can't see anything here, the forest and the trees, becoming the observer and choosing to be that. That same mantra, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me into that observation place where I'm not so much in the fray. I'm looking at things. And things are pretty scary looking out in the world right now, pretty contentious, pretty much in upheaval. But me falling into that is only going to fuel more of that hopelessness energy, more of the gloom and doom. Managing my energy field is key, because again, in the huge scheme of things, I can't do you. I can't create for you what only you can create for you. I can't create for my husband, my children, my grandchildren. What I can do is my learning aspect. And so what is here for me, once I reach the observer and choose to pull out, which means sometimes I have to go into something that isn't even looking at any of that, nothing spiritual, nothing heavy, just some lighthearted fun. Another lovely show. It's funny, the British TV shows can be ultra heavy in their energy, and they can be the same kind of show as a different channel, but the energy around it is very dense and very heavy. And then they can be incredibly lighthearted, fun, and silly. And so you have to be the chooser. You have to be the one that initiates the choice to look at something different, so you can be in a place of less dense energy, so a higher vibration. We are easily manipulated, and manipulation happens cosmically as well. Those energies coming in, not just from the powers that were, not just from the darkness, but from our focus. So choosing your focus is huge in shaping this day. Great morning to you too, Susan. So the angels coming through are Gabriel and Michael this morning, and then a couple other just more lighthearted cards. But it is the lighthearted card that is the theme, and it is brace the unknown. Embrace the unknown. You simply don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. Don't overthink it. Just dance with the winds of change. Enjoy the unfolding adventure. Trust in the power of partnership and allow compassion to lead. And truly, this compassion for you. Someone like me, compassion is always something I choose to go into on a regular basis, because I can be very rigid and very tough love y. And absolutely, for myself, a lack of compassion and forgiveness of my humanness. So it is something I have to do for myself too. And just embracing the unknown, going, okay, yeah, I don't have all the forward pictures for this. I'm going to embrace the fact that I don't know what is coming, but I do know I can manage my energy about it. And again, sometimes that's just sitting knitting, sitting and knitting. I don't knit. Well, that's not true. I can knit. I don't do it. I don't enjoy that as much as crochet, and I don't do that all that often. But I do engage in the creative aspects on many different levels. And that is a huge tool when you're faced with hopelessness, helplessness, fear, deep, deep angst. Get into something creative. And again, you're not doing it for anybody but you. You are the creator. You are the one that creates the energy of where you go with this day. The next one is use your imagination and you'll see the answer. That is an Archangel Michael card. Your imagination is very much a tool for you to use to navigate everything going on in your life. Uh, our thoughts are energies, our words are energy, our beliefs are energy, our physical's energy. And so your imagination will begin to shape your words, your beliefs, and your thoughts. Start with the imagination. What would you choose moving forward? I've mentioned the other day, I love nature, but I can be incredibly lazy. And my lovely dog, Jack, needs to get out, and we go up by the river. And for me, I'm a doer. Got to be doing something. And so a walk can be very boring, especially I walked for 40 years, my street here, which is a lovely country road. But it's like, oh my God, I can't stomach another walk along here looking at the same thing. And so I go different places, and I will still find myself bored. But then I will get into my imagination and go, gosh, if I had been bedbound and then in a wheelchair and hardly able to walk for 6 months, how would I feel about this walk? Oh my God, I would feel glorious about this walk. I would love this. And so I move my thoughts into that kind of energy, bringing to my awareness all the beauty, the smells, the joy of walking close to the river, and then seeing my lovely boy swim after a stick. And remember, this is very much, I call it God. It does not matter what you call it. God is in charge. This is kind of a loaded card for me, because while God, creator of the universe, can help us, we have to give them permission. Open, willing, ready, guide me. We are not under their thumb. We are not in the angst of hoping, wishing, praying, begging God for. You can be, but you're a power broker here, and you are the one who can choose your energy. Yeah, the God is in charge card is well, I guess I could call it a trigger for me, or it's one of those things that is up for me. I That brings me back to the Christian model that I lived for years and that many people live now, which is great for them. I just no longer believe that I have to beg this God in charge, but I can invite them in to show me what is here for every moment in every aspect of what is going on. What is my part in this? How do I navigate this for my highest and best growth, learning, expansion, and the joy that I choose to travel life with? It is not always joyful. This morning does not feel very joyful at the beginning of it. It actually kind of did. And then it just took one little thing, put me into a different energy. It's like, okay, there is absolutely something here then that I want, that I have chosen to grow with and bring forward. Sensitivity. Your sensitive feelings are your muse and inspiration for your creativity. I mean, that's exactly what happened. The sensitivity of my body, my mind, my spirit locked into a heavy energy that is present, that wants to come up to be looked at by me, and then likely be removed because I choose not to travel in that direction. It may mean that I'm sitting in my chair watching another episode of The Larkins today. It likely to mean that I'm going to go for a walk with Jack because he likes them, and we can. It's a beautiful fall day, and it rained last night and a little this morning, which means it's going to smell absolutely lovely out there with all the beautiful, sweet fermentation of the leaves on the ground. The next card that came up is retreat. That is absolutely okay to do, even if there are commitments that you made that are weighing heavy. What does that look like for you? Sometimes it means saying, I am sorry, I cannot do that thing. That has come up many times for me in the last several months. I have to honor what it is that is directing me. And that does cause me concern at times. You know, as we are humans here, and as we are humans choosing to learn, grow, and expand in this life, we want to examine everything that comes up for us at every given turn. That is why we came, to learn and to serve. In the learning, I then have more to offer in the service of. I am learning a new healing modality. Um, it comes from a different perspective than others that I have learned. I know that I will take parts of this and incorporate it into what I do. Um, but I also, I give credence to other very wise leaders and people in the world that I work with, study with, visit with. And sometimes that doesn't serve me for being lighthearted. It does shake me into an inner perspective of, okay, this does not feel lovely right now. I don't love what my thoughts are doing right now. So, what is here for me to grow with? That is always an empowered stance. And it doesn't always, or rarely, honestly, come from places of joy and ease and fun and lightheartedness. It generally comes from a heavy aspect of our past or our ancestral lineage coming up. Um, and the last card coming up, well, the next to the last card, there's an animal spirit card that wanted to come through that is quite lovely. Positive thoughts create positive results. And this is the Archangel Michael. Our thoughts are energies. And remember, they create our words, our beliefs, our feelings. we sometimes have to go to Pollyanna, choosing to shift what is in front of us to a power stance rather than an under the circumstance, a weighty stance. Is that burying my head in the sand? Possibly, but you know what? Never am I going to come out with nothing. I'm going to come out with something that helps me grow and expand into my path more. As a very empowered, focused guide, channel, leader, teacher in this world, it always throws me when I come up against energies like this, where truly I just want to run away and go, oh, yeah, I want to be done now. This is too hard. This does not feel good. And I don't like this. I don't like walking into this and having this kind of belief, because hopelessness for me is not a place I can live. And so I have to go into that. What is true for me here? What is here for me here? And how can I grow and expand with this? Then I'm going to take the empowered message that I have. Oh, Shauna, it's nice to see you. She says those fermenting leaves and things are a part of that healing and change for the earth. Enjoy your walk. I will, Shauna. Maybe you'd like to walk with me this morning, this afternoon, sometime. Shauna lives just up the street. She's my eldest daughter's age, and they went to school together, and she has moved back into the area. The last card coming up is the rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. So rarely when we're in the depths of despair, when we're feeling less than empowered, all of that, do we go, "Whoa, this feels lucky." But really, the truth is, I can build around it whatever I choose to focus on and the energy I choose to be in. What does that look like for you? Where are you taking circumstances that you are in? I have two very lovely friends, very lovely women in my, actually I have three lovely women in my life that are in very, very challenging physical circumstances. And that also will throw me into despair because, in the last few years, as we age, we're going to lose more people. And these women have become, quote unquote, sort of playmates, not like the ones I've lost in my sister and Susie that I had years of time to do things with. But they have become playmates along the way. And they're all three of them threatened right now in the physical. And this is a place that is less than easy, but I love to join in with them in the working through it. And it may be a stepping off point for them. I don't know. They don't know. They can choose. And I think, in spirit, they probably do know what is there for them. But choosing to step in to help rather than run is how I work. Now, I will run away from me, but I will always run to another in need. And so I also have a young friend who is facing a very lovely life experience, but they're not facing them from a place from the greatest health. And also offers, I get concerned. And so there's a lot of things I can focus on right now that aren't lovely in my world. But there are also a multitude of things I can focus on that are lovely. And that's what I have to do in order to continue day-to-day life. I am one that is a runner. Honestly, I would like and have wanted on many, many occasions in this life to step out of it. Not actively in suicide, but it has occurred to me. I think because being connected to the spirit aspect of who we are more fully, we do know how much easier it is not to be human. But I also know I chose, as did all of you who would listen to this, to be in this world at this time, to initiate in this new way of living. And it can look very bleak and like that's not happening. But the truth is, the third stage of the birth process is the hardest. You do have to clear away the rubble of the old before new can be built. All those, those metaphors, all of that. And so, what are you focusing on? That is where I am choosing to release after I have looked at what is here for me, how easily I can be thrown. But, again, we have the other energies coming in affecting us, and so much shifting cosmic energy. We've got that body, whatever it is, three-eye atlas, or yeah, three-eye atlas, which is not a comet, it's not a planet, that is moving through space towards us. All of the spiritual stuff is affected by energy, and the cosmic is absolutely energy in our field. So, what do you choose to do with it? That really is the only question, because I can't do for you and you can't do for me. I choose to grow. I choose to move through it and get back to a place of playfulness. What is your choice? Louise Hay today says, I give myself permission to be prosperous. And the little hedgehog. This came with a Hay House order. I did not order this, and I would not have ordered it, but I do really like it. I have really enjoyed looking at the daily choice of how I can move through it. I'm going to be prosperous today, and I'm going to be prosperous in bringing more lightheartedness in while learning, growing, and expanding. What are you choosing? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.